Let's talk about it. No judgment here. We keep it real. Black culture, life, family, friendship, and everything in between. Let's talk about it. With the girls, KB, Nell, and Jules. Pressing the unmute. Pressing the unmute button. Pressing the unmute button. Pressing the unmute. Pressing the unmute.
Calling all Central Arkansas residents. Looking for someone to mount a TV or set up your surround sound? Well, look no further than our friends at Hangtime Home Media. From surround sound installation and setup to flat screen TV mounting, wired or wireless networking, and even furniture assembly. You can trust them with your business because they offer affordable solutions while providing top-tier customer service. Contact them today for a quote and mention that you heard their ad on the Pizza Up podcast, of course, and they'll give you 10% off your invoice. Find them on Facebook or Instagram or call them at 501-690-5705. What are you waiting for? Get to calling. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Hey, y'all, can y'all hear us? Please let us know if y'all can hear us. Because I don't know how this is going to work tonight. Oh, okay, that can hear us. Okay. All right.
Oh, you ain't got her in the thing
Hey,
yet.
y'all.
Hey. It's a glare on my glasses.
She was singing just then there?
Was. Hey. Pressing the unmute
Hey, y'all.
button.
Hey, Desiree.
Why is she looking like that?
I don't know. I'm over here eating my cheese sandwich and drinking my Sprite.
Why are you looking like that? Because I'm so confused. I'm tripping. I'm back. Okay.
What did you do?
I really don't even have an answer for you. Because you see, I'm looking like. I'm like, is she going to say
Desiree,
something?
did you see the ad?
Yes, shout out to Hangtime Media. I think that's why she dancing.
Oh, okay. That's why you was dancing, girl. Hey, Corinthia.
Hey, y'all. Oh, I ain't even got that coming.
How y'all be? FYI, we trying something new today. So we not on Instagram. So tell your people to leave Instagram and come on to the Facebook and the YouTube because
maybe we should have posted that.
I put it on stories.
She put it on the story Instagram.
Thank you, Corinthia.
Bam.
We gonna see how long I'm gonna keep them. I promise I'm gonna keep them.
Eels.
Let me just
Eels.
keep my hands off from them. All right, Keisha. What you got going on today?
Well, we can't I think she's gonna add her when it's time, right?
Well, that's what I asked her. You know what? Okay, listen.
I was finna say why I can't see the comments. Oh, you gotta actually go on there, right?
Yeah, you have to go in the actual.
Okay. There you go right there. And then you'll click on the video and then you'll see them.
Yep.
Now, but you probably interacting at swipe left. Okay. But you probably interacting as pressing unmute. I'm just telling you.
It's a labor of love, but if I can do it, you definitely can. I'm trying to hang in there. I go for my first retwist next week, so we're gonna see what it do. I'm trying to get hang time like Keitra and our guest tonight.
Thank you, Desiree.
Desiree say I'm feeling these matching glasses and sweater on Keitra. Right.
I tried to coordinate on y'all tonight.
Not coordinate. Not coordinate. That's gonna be real loud on Anchor when I get ready to edit.
I was just thinking that. Trying to coordinate. They ain't gonna be able to see it on Anchor.
They be all right. They just let them know they can
go
come
to
on
YouTube.
Over to FaceTime.
They need to see this coordination.
Look at Mama. Girl, I am so happy you in the room, Mama. Finally.
But it's Facebook, y'all, not FaceTime.
Right.
Who said FaceTime?
We said FaceTime.
You did.
I'm sorry.
Facebook. She said they're gonna have to come on over here to FaceTime.
Hey,
Mama.
Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. Let me just tell y'all something. Let me just go ahead
and give y'all the disclaimer. Cynthia says, spill the deets on your glasses.
I got them from Zeelool.com.
Zeelool.
Zeelool.
They do have some pretty glasses.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, here's the thing. I got 20/20 vision.
Right.
I don't need
Me
glasses.
and Nell on the other end can't see.
Baby, can't.
But I always wanted to wear glasses. So Zeelool be
We
running
can
their
switch
special
eyes if you
stuff.
just want to wear glasses.
No. I'm good.
That's how I ended up having to wear glasses, trying to be like my sister.
They be running their
Faking
specials
eyes,
for $1,
Right.
$3, $5, and I get them on that $1, $3, $5 rack.
How many pair of glasses do you think
I
you
don't
have on average?
Girl, she got a whole case.
Probably 40. Probably 40 pair.
Did y'all hear that? $40
$40.
pair. Right. Desiree said she working with 1313 already. Me too.
Thank you, Serena.
Baby, I take these glasses off. It's a wrap. I can't see nothing.
Yeah, I got good vision. I just,
Silly.
you know.
So happy Friday again, y'all. Let me tell y'all something.
I'm comfortable over here, baby. I didn't take my shoes. I got
You
socks
really
on.
is. So for those of you that are not in the great state of Arkansas, we've got a little winter weather mix going on around here.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I didn't really know how this was gonna work tonight because Neil had to come get me because I was not driving in it. So
And we
superhero to
made
the
it.
rescue.
And we made it safely.
And just in case she can't get me back home, I brought my spend the night bag.
Fix it, Jesus.
I can't say the other thing when you say it.
Right.
But Cynthia say I need a seeing eye dog, as the old folks say, without my glasses, contacts. Because listen, all I see is specs. Take these contacts out, baby. Specs and colors. That's it. I can't.
Right. Even my sunglasses got to be prescription.
Okay. Jesus.
Really?
Yes. For real. We can't see in real life. Who just text? Oh yeah, go on, do it. Production.
While we're doing the current events.
Production.
Nah, I'll be right back.
Okay. Right, out of nowhere. Not your spend the night. Yep, my spend the night bag. I sure did bring
Baby,
it.
y'all should wish she.
I got my spend the night bag, and I got a real exciting event tomorrow, or special occasion tomorrow. Brought all that stuff too, because I'm gonna have to be cute virtually for what I got to do tomorrow. You know how me looking crazy in my stuff.
But baby, the way you walked out all them bags, where you
I
going?
had my backpack with my laptop and stuff in it. Then I had my spend the night bag.
Then
I had my
this,
box
then you
for
had
my
this
special
scarf
event
wrapped
tomorrow.
around you.
I had my scarf wrapped around me. I had my little jacket on with my winter coat. Lies, you tell. We're gonna have me out here looking crazy and being sick. Nope.
But we made it.
We did make it. So let me tell y'all something about tonight. First of all, can we give it up for our sponsors of season 2? Hang Time Home Media. Like, you know, we're an official podcast now. We have sponsors.
Yes,
right?
thank
we
you.
have sponsors. Listen, you got me so excited about your upcoming announcement. Hey, listen, I'm dropping announcements and good news the entire month of March. Okay, so if you ain't following me, but follow me and turn your notifications on. But tonight was our first sponsor spotlight. So again, those of you that are in the Central Arkansas area, if you need your TVs mounted, if you need your wireless networking or Wi-Fi, or you need to get your surround sound set up, you need some furniture assembled. Okay.
Oh, because I'm about to be
Furniture. Okay. Furniture.
I wish I had a picture of yours and mine.
Oh yeah.
Our jewelry stands.
Well, that's Central Arkansas restoration.
Oh, that's different.
Furniture restoration.
My bad.
Same thing, same family, okay, same family.
But
But Burdell and Desiree, let me tell y'all something. They can get you right for real. So I think Burdell came and mounted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TVs at my church and did all the wiring and stuff. So yeah, they're affordable solutions for the everyday consumer, for real. Okay, so give them a shout out. It can be the same. Let her speak. Well, I'm just, I didn't want them to get it confused. It's 2 separate pages. But if you do need your furniture restored, since we own it, you can give a shout out to Central Arkansas Furniture Restoration. Let me tell y'all something. They found an old beat up bookshelf on Facebook for me.
For me.
And they refurbished it went from drab to fab, okay? Didn't it?
It did.
It did.
It did. It looked real nice.
And then when they
got one
found
too.
one for her,
I
You
said,
got
I need one now.
Excuse me.
I need one now. I'm finna
And
be
it is
next.
beautiful. It was wonderful. Desiree, she asked me like what my vision was. You know, what are you looking for? And she just took it and ran with it.
Did.
I'm finna be next since
So,
I got
yeah,
my place now.
Give the Lees a shout out. If you're looking for a house,
Please.
Discover Central Arkansas. Verdale got you. Okay?
That's why they got y'all can't talk about me.
What?
Desiree
And
Verdale.
Simply Southern. Follow Simply Southern on TikTok.
Can't
'cause
talk
she
about
be
me.
doing all the little home decor crafts, and she be showing y'all her recipes.
Desiree,
What?
I
I must
am.
be
I'ma
not
hit
on
you up.
there.
Oh yeah, you gotta follow
What
her
is
on
called?
Instagram. It be looking good too.
It do. It
But
really
then
do.
I don't
It
be
was
on
something that she
Instagram either.
But she posted on Facebook too.
That's how I learned how to do them beef mixing meals that Taco Bell used to do. Desiree showed me how to do them.
It was some.
And it
Oh, it
tastes
was something you
exactly like the
posted
old
last
recipe.
week. I said, "Oh, if I knew where she stay, I'd call."
Girl,
Like,
listen. I told her one day I'm gonna pop up, and even her dog has a lit space. Listen,
the dog living fabulous.
Yeah.
Y'all done made me forget the dog name just that quick. Hold on.
I was finna say Bronco, but that
No,
ain't
that's
his
not
name.
His name is not Bronco. God, dog.
Max.
Desiree. It's not Max. Oh my God.
I thought she
Desiree,
said
what's the
it.
baby name?
Spot.
It's not Spot. Stop it.
It's the spot for
But as much as she say his name, I should know it.
What's the baby?
And
what's
she
the
just
baby
posted
name?
about him
Oh my
not too
God.
long ago.
Kodak Brown.
Kodak Black. Is it Kodak Black?
No,
Kodak
Kodak Brownlee.
Oh.
It hadn't came up yet over here. You get them
It
super
starts
fast.
with the B,
over
right? No, Kelly. Hey, Kelly Hall.
Well, the middle name do, but
Whatever. Anyway, Kodak. Even his little space be all decorated for Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's and Easter. And I'm like, Halloween.
It's the area where she just got the new floors from. I love all that furniture up in there. Love it.
Like her whole transformation of her dining room. Girl, I was looking through, I'm like 30 days for them floors. I probably would have to stick that out too.
Yeah.
So she said he's brown. So tonight, y'all, we're gonna get into a little bit of current events, okay? And then we're gonna be talking about straighten your crown. Imposter syndrome is sabotaging your life. And we have the expert herself, okay? The expert herself. I'm not going to tell you who it is because if you were following us, you will already know. We're going to introduce her in a second. So go ahead, get your pens and your notepads.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need it.
Because I guarantee you she's going to drop some vibranium nuggets. She's going to drop some gems. And y'all need to be pre-prepared. So when she get the dropping, you can just collect them, right? All right. So y'all ready for current events? Or no?
I'm ready.
Or yeah, let's go.
All right. That's my music.
And it's me over here talking.
That's not the music I heard in my head. But
Oh,
okay.
well, next time you can do your own music.
I mean,
Current
no,
events.
that's okay.
So the first one is March is International Women's Herstory Month. It's History Month, but I like how people do the play on history and hers and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, March is Women's History Month, and it provides us an opportunity to honor the generations of trailblazing women and girls who have built our nation. So, what do you guys got to say about Women's History Month?
Oh, baby, we rock.
Yeah,
We do.
We dope.
February and
Yes.
March is always one of my favorite times of the year.
Black History Month and Women's History Month. That's what's up.
And
I can dig
then
it.
the fact that my baby was born on International Women's Day,
I know.
you know.
She was.
Yeah.
Shout out to production. Production
Right.
13 on Tuesday.
Did.
Happy
Y'all gotta say happy birthday,
birthday.
production. Happy birthday, Courtney,
I
in the
got a
comments.
teenager.
I'm getting old.
Come wave to the people real
I was
quick.
gonna say she wouldn't dare do that on camera. That's it.
I do it.
Tell the people, hey.
What I did was, hey,
Hey. You gonna
You
say
gonna show the
what you
people what
did?
you did?
oh, I had.
That's our baby.
Production
She's
now,
not
go
a baby anymore.
Oh, best
Oh.
friend.
I mean, you
Sure,
have
boo.
it, but you're really not a baby once you turn 13.
Thank you, Kelly.
You still a baby though.
You dropped the charger.
You'll always be our baby.
I dropped the wallflower.
Yeah.
Put my
I don't
charger
feel
not
you
working.
Oh, my long cord.
Feel the same.
What
In
you
my
looking
purse.
for?
You want to get my long
Oh,
cord
this
out
ain't
my
even
purse?
the right one.
I asked you if it was the right one.
You did.
All right,
It
so
was
women, International
That's
Women's
white.
History Month. Oh, and while we're talking about women,
Mhm.
I saw this news story and I was thoroughly upset. I can't remember
was
what the
upset?
percentage was,
I know. I was wondering.
but our unemployment rates dropped in February. However, they went up for Black women.
Probably because a lot of moms are now staying at home with the kids, especially if they just had babies. That's what I mean. That's my take on it. I would think.
So what is, are they counting like women who are receiving unemployment, or are they just counting women who are not working?
Because they
Oh,
could
what
have
is
a
that?
business, huh?
That's what I was about to say. So I wonder if that has any. Just toss it. Thank you. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Is why I was asking.
I don't remember. I don't remember. But I was just thinking, kind of like to what Neil was saying, a lot of people. I also read too that the last 2 years of the pandemic has caused a lot of career pivots.
I can
So
believe that.
just thinking about those single parents, those single Black women, you know, they may haven't found a job that caters to
Because
us being in the pandemic.
because
right
unfortunately,
now.
some
So,
employees are still not going.
yeah, like, do you think that pandemic introduced people of other avenues of getting money? Now people are not as afraid of entrepreneurship. That's a great point, Desiree, because Black women are the how am I trying to phrase this? Black women are starting businesses at an all-time high. So
yeah, that's why I asked that question.
Like I don't know if they're calculating that based off actual who's drawing those unemployment benefits or what,
Or just noticing that
they're not
Black women are not
right in the
working.
workspace.
Yeah, in the
I just got
workspace,
that.
right.
I just had that conversation today when I was getting my hair done. We was just talking about how much is closing, but at the same time, how much is opening up?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it really is. So
It's
somebody
tough,
getting
though.
some money from somewhere,
right? So shout out to the entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
Okay, ain't nothing wrong with it at all. What's next on current events? The Oscars, right? So the Oscars are what, the 27th?
Mhm.
And Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes, along with Amy, is it Schumer?
Yeah, I
Schumer.
didn't list her.
Okay. That's why you see those two beautiful Black queens there. They're set to host the Oscars this year, which I think is I just love Regina Hall anyway.
Yeah.
She's goofy to me.
And Wanda's right there with us.
Wait a minute.
What happened?
I'm gonna wait till you get to the next comment.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. We'll do what they need to do to provide and survive. So when regular jobs were jeopardized, they started stepping out of their comfort zones. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Cerinthia said, very true. I'm so thankful that my corporate employer has been so accommodating as I battled COVID and am now pregnant at 42.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations, girl.
Amazing. Okay.
Go ahead on in. Turn that face upside down.
Okay.
Right side up, rather.
She's smiling.
Wow.
I got to make sure she's smiling.
Right.
You know. Congrats.
I have to tell Courtney that mama, she late. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Mama
But
tried.
I typically don't watch the Oscars. Is that bad?
No, because we don't typically
well,
win a whole
it
lot.
depends.
So.
I don't really
Are,
watch
are
It's
there many
something-
Blacks that are up for nominations?
I don't watch for Black, white. If it's a movie that came out that I was really interested in that has been nominated, I typically watch.
But I haven't even seen. Have you seen the advertisement of what's been nominated?
But I fall asleep.
Would you say you fall asleep?
I did go. Yeah, that was real country.
What did she say?
What you
Well,
say?
congratulations.
I didn't even realize that when she said it.
I want to get down there.
Yeah, so if it's a movie that I'm really interested in, then
You'll watch.
I'll watch. But I typically fall asleep on them because they're entirely too long.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the ones that I want to watch
The
are at the end.
right.
And so I miss it and then have to watch it on Good Morning America or something. But
Jesus.
Or if it's somebody hosting that I really like.
Maybe they can spruce it up a little bit this year. Maybe. No? Okay.
I mean, the three of them are funny.
They are.
If nothing else.
Oh, okay.
They are funny. I mean, even if it was just Regina and Wanda.
Right.
Yeah.
But Amy is just downright silly. So I think it'll be entertaining to say the least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Let's switch to sports really quick. Go ahead.
Aside from, I'm sorry, King Richard was nominated. So I will be watching this
You know,
year.
what's the woman
You
name?
didn't watch King
Did?
Richard?
Whoa. Real.
The movie that Will Smith did?
No, I did not watch it. No, I did not watch it. I'm so sorry. Please don't beat me up.
Girl.
She should have got an Oscar for that.
She
If
should.
there wasn't that about Clark, I don't know.
I did read an article talking about like all the different roles she's had and how she really embodies whatever character she's playing and how she's just now.
Keke Palmer, baby.
Yeah.
But which all of those are TV movies.
I
though.
get it.
But the fact that she's just now getting recognized.
Yeah.
I mean, even in The Help.
Yeah.
You know, she was really good in that role.
Baby, they need to go back and accept the Clark sisters.
She did. Yeah,
I'm excited.
She played that
I'm excited
role.
for her
Yeah.
and Will. And you know, they usually say whoever wins the SAG award typically wins the Oscar. Will did win the SAG.
Well,
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know if she was nominated or not.
Oh, okay.
For the SAG, but so we'll see.
So we'll see how it play out, huh?
Samuel done already called him out.
Samuel.
I was like, who?
Samuel. You know, he was just saying that, you know, Black people don't get recognized unless they in a compromising role. So Viola too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
I'm ready for this First Lady series to come out where she played Michelle Obama.
Yeah, I'm ready for that too.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What is it?
I ain't got
Bring it back. Bring it back.
That's all. I'm gonna leave it as that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay. We'll talk.
I'm excited for the series. I don't know.
We'll talk.
I don't know if I like her being cast as Michelle.
I'm just saying. Okay, let's move along.
No, that's why I said I was gonna leave it, but y'all asked for it. So.
Oh, really?
So who would you? I'm just curious.
I don't even know who.
Who would you cast as Michelle Obama?
I don't even know who. I could see Regina Hall playing them before I could see Viola Davis.
Regina is Obama. Michelle Obama.
They can get the one off the Oval.
Oh heck no! Move along.
I don't even watch
I didn't
that.
want to choke the dog.
I'm so sick of this
I don't even
show.
watch that. The commercials be enough for me.
Yes.
Right.
So I know some of y'all have seen the news. Everyone should be aware of the whole war between Ukraine and Russia and how they've got some U.S. citizens over there detained. So kind of switching gears and talking about sports. We do have a WNBA player, Brittany. Is it pronounced Griner? Griner. That is currently being detained in Russian custody for allegedly having CBD oil on her as she was going to board a plane. Thoughts?
I just wondered if she'd been having a CBD oil. Like what? Like, can't say it, Courtney.
My thing is,
Know what it is.
one, she's there often.
Mm-hmm.
She frequents back and forth.
Right.
Even if she do have it or has had it before, they looking for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
Any reason to be able to hold something over the United States head.
Right.
You got to fly right and fly straight.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they don't treat celebrity like we treat celebrity here.
Mhm.
They don't care.
No.
I mean, the way I heard it was that, you know, they asked her what was in it. Like, gave her the chance to say what it was. And she said, I don't know. Yeah. So that's why they detained her. That's what I read.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I agree with you, Leslie.
But so somebody was also stuttering.
Baby,
So-
I don't know, but you've been on it all night.
So I read too where people were saying they don't feel like she's getting as much exposure, like this story is getting as much exposure as it would have gotten if she was a male. What y'all think about that?
First of all, is it
She
true that-
wrong.
No, I'm
So
saying
the people like, dude, I
Right.
mean, what we
what
supposed to
what's
do?
Right.
You know what I mean? Male, female,
But
I
when
don't
I
think
saw
it matters.
them comment that, I was like, let me go read more on the story because
I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I disagree with that statement. Yeah,
you
she
do
was
have to know the
wrong.
laws.
And I feel like them asking her was probably giving her a chance to be like.
and they probably would have, might have said, hey, this your warning. Don't do this no more.
But again,
Yeah.
Russia looking for
anything. And I mean anything.
Any chance. So I don't feel sorry for her.
Yeah.
You don't feel no ways tied?
I don't.
Why I started singing this song in my head?
I don't.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, we got some comments. Hold on. Ooh, okay, y'all. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Desiree said, like, don't test those folks. Plus, she had to know the temperament of what is going on right now. True.
Mm-hmm.
She should have been on the straight and narrow. Hey, Abigail. Why would she have that on her in Russia? Of all the places right now, she was wrong for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mama, what did you? Okay. YouTube is behind. We're just gonna agree to that.
Okay.
I agree. The ball boy that was detained in China for stealing got more coverage. I don't know.
I
Who
I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah. I didn't hear about that.
I don't know.
I think I just think it's unfortunate all the way around.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I did read another story. Well, somebody posted on Facebook. Let me see. I sent it to y'all. What it say? But it was basically another perspective that was saying like,
Hey, Krishan.
it says, before we discuss Brittany Griner being detained in Russia for having vape cartridges containing CBD oil, maybe we need to discuss why she was even there, because the WNBA still only plays their top tier players $20 an hour, so they play in the Euro leagues for more money and no off season for their bodies. This isn't equality. I'm not excusing what she did, but we must do better for female pro athletes.
And they did say, I did also read to piggyback that she's one of the higher paid WNBA. So do we think it's for money? Is that what folks trying to?
Well, that's what they're saying, that the women are playing overseas to be able to supplement their income because they're not making enough here.
WNBA don't play. I don't even watch WNBA.
I don't.
So, yeah.
I don't either, but I mean, to be fair, I don't watch the NBA either.
Oh, I like basketball. I just don't watch women. Women games take too long for me.
Oh,
they take too long?
They just feel like they take too long. You fouling every second. Stop it.
okay.
Run up and down that court.
Okay.
Okay.
When Jabari used to play basketball, I used to not go to the girls' games. I waited till it was close time to the boys.
Keitra, you gonna sing with me?
Oh,
you ready?
Lord. Before I got something to say before y'all do that.
Okay, what?
1, 2.
A sophomore from Central.
Girl, bye. Whatever. Come on. Wait a minute. What somebody say? Yeah.
Let me recognize my school first.
Nope.
Here we go.
That's not what we're talking about.
1,
We're not talking about. We
2.
We don't even have a slide for that.
1, 2, ready, go. NLR, NLR, NLR,
Look at my hair.
Congratulations.
I don't want brought it and said it.
That's
That's how much I've been.
Little Rock.
Congratulations, guys.
And girls.
Wait,
Both did them.
You wasn't done.
Oh, my bad.
Good.
You weren't done.
Well, no, when I
See how
sent
people
it.
be doing?
No, when I found it, I hadn't gotten confirmation on the boys yet. Thank you.
Boys and girls are state champs. How about
Central was
that?
almost there.
Almost doesn't count.
Anyway, speaking of Central, congrats to the six. Congrats to Jordan Marshall on being named 6A All State.
I got one more. 99.
Black girl magic. Can't stand either one of them.
Congratulations, Jordan.
Hey, I've jumped on the train. My son is with the Little Rock School District.
Oh, y'all been practicing.
Yes, they've been
North.
practicing.
No, that was us. 03. We just don't forget our chance.
They've been practicing.
That's it. No, ain't no practicing.
You can never forget those. And it's
Listen.
so good to have some
Look, I'm
other.
gonna whisper in the mic.
Oh, Jordan is Kelly's cousin. Hey,
Congrats, Jordan. See? I had to think the two.
I had no
I know
clue,
the
Kelly.
slide.
Now you got to tell me who child it is.
North Little Rock has some of the best.
I
ain't even. I'm gonna say the best student section
do
ever. Every year.
especially 02,
Year after year after year.
02, 03, and 03, 04.
Yeah.
That was all right.
There could never be any other.
Never.
Okay.
Nope, could
Never.
not be.
All right. But no, congrats for real though.
Look at
That's
that,
good.
for real. Congrats.
She ain't no feelings, y'all.
Now, I wish it was on the weekend. I would have went to the game.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to Hot Springs.
Oh, I love it.
Girl, that drive, them going up them hills.
It's just 30 minutes.
I know, but it's the hill. I'm just
The
hills.
I don't even
Going
know.
up and around. Yeah.
What part
Which
of Hot
way you
Springs?
go?
We're not going to Magic Springs, baby. We going.
I just know I don't like all the wine.
I don't know what she talking about.
I don't need the baby.
Whatever. Move on.
It's pretty
All
flat for
right,
me.
come on, ready for you?
Hey y'all, guess what? We got a special guest tonight.
Yes.
And I am excited to bring her in. Now let's see how this is gonna work.
We got it.
That's where we're gonna
There
have
she
to
goes.
Now let me say something, Krystle.
Hey y'all.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Okay,
see.
wait.
No, because it's gonna be a delay on the device.
Hey y'all.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So they can hear it.
But we can't
We
hear
can't
her.
hear her though. Hold on.
Okay, hang on. We're gonna figure it
We're
out.
gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure this thing out. You want to know why? We got to take our microphones out
We do.
because that's where the audio coming from.
That's fine.
Yeah, take
Okay.
the microphones out.
You want to know
You
why?
wanna know why? I told y'all we was gonna figure this thing out.
I can't hear y'all.
Can
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Don't be laughing at us,
Let's have a production reality.
girl. Don't be laughing at us.
Hey Abigail. I see y'all in the comments. Come through.
Why she look so flabbergasted?
Oh, that's why we got these new faces tonight. Because I was like, oh, okay, we got some new names.
I'm glad to see y'all in the chat. I'm glad to see y'all tuned in.
Thank you.
Wait to cancel to make sure you're in.
Listen, y'all are hilarious. I was backstage cracking up. Y'all are hilarious.
So we have our lovely Krys guest. I don't want to call her by her official title because I don't want people to be, scared to ask questions when we get into it. But she is who she is, and she's authentic in being who she is. But we got the online pastor of St. Mark up in here, right? Listen, first off, she's Keetra's cousin. She's my classmate. Even though I graduated, switched to North Little Rock, I still consider her my classmate. Mac Mob. Right, Liz, you better let them know. But it has been an amazing opportunity to watch her journey from us growing up to where she is now, and just the wisdom that she's been able to obtain. And I know tonight is gonna be full of laughs and wisdom and all of that, but I hope that someone is blessed by what she's able to share with us tonight, because I know that I've suffered from imposter syndrome. I know some of you have suffered from imposter syndrome. We are off the cuff. We ain't got no flow going on, so we just gonna do what it do. So welcome, Krys.
Hey y'all. Thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to be on here. I've watched you guys and listened to the conversations. I love how you guys give your commentary on current events because we need to stay updated on what's going on in the world. So I was backstage like, yep, I agree.
So Krys, I know we did a brief introduction, but for those of the P-Tub community that don't know who Krys is, kind of give us an introduction on who you are and what your platform is all about.
Yes. Okay. So I am Krys McDonald, aka Pastor Krys. Since November 1st, I was given the position of online campus pastor for St. Mark Baptist Church. I love my job, but ultimately I am the creator and curator of When Krys Speaks LLC, which is a Christian lifestyle and empowerment brand where I seek to engage people with the love of Christ, equip people with wise counsel, and ultimately empower everyone with the word of God. And I do this visually through faith-based apparel and through my content that I create and display on social media. And then I also do this vocally through speaking engagements, ministry engagements, and my podcast, which I have put on hiatus for right now, She Speaks podcast. So yeah, I am just all about empowering, uplifting, but I do so as an ambassador of Christ. I am a follower of Christ. I am unashamed of that. As you can see, I believe that God is still good, and that's what keeps me anchored. And so you probably hear me mention scripture tonight. You'll hear me mention God tonight, even though we're talking about imposter syndrome. And so just go on and get ready for the ride.
All right. We
Ready.
I just want to say, make sure y'all check out When Krys Speaks.
Yeah.
And She Speaks apparel, because y'all know I make shirts, but I buy them all. And when I have them all, oh, did you make that one? Nah, I didn't make that one, but my cousin did. Y'all can go buy one from her. But yeah, so y'all make sure y'all get acquainted with that.
Listen, Keitra, one of my biggest supporters. She gonna purchase every new tee or shirt that come out. You hear me? And I love it. I love it because I'm gonna support her too. I send everybody to her. You need something? Keitra. You need an event plan? Keitra.
Right.
I love it, you guys. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's funny. The people talking about they gotta watch their mouths now.
No, ma'am.
No, because I might not watch mine. So
there you go.
Be you.
Right. Y'all know we keep it real in these P-Tub streets.
Right. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. So it's really crazy because so before the season, we get together and we decide like on different topics that we think are relevant, especially for Black women. And so we put this one on the list, and it seems like ever since we put this one on the list, I've just been seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
Krystle, she posts about it a lot. But I want to say shout out real quick to my line sister yesterday. She was promoted to lieutenant colonel in the Army.
Wow.
And she was on the merit list, but she made this whole post about imposter syndrome and how, she's always kind of compared herself to other people and stuff like that. But for her to make that list kind of showed her like,
you got this.
Yeah, like I do. I got it. And so I'm gonna just read just a bit of what she posted yesterday. She was like, transparent moment, imposter syndrome is real. I think many of us struggle with believing we aren't good enough. I personally do. I overthink. I rewrite papers, emails 5 times over, which is what is good enough. I play out every situation in my head with thousands of possible outcomes, and I rethink my exact words to previous situations and debate other ways that I could have or should have said it to get a better outcome. And she said, I analyze the most minuscule detail of every plan and think through backup to backup. I blame some of this on my skills developed as an intelligent analyst and some on my training in the military, and some just from being from a family of strong-minded, determined women who don't like to be wrong. Sometimes it leads us to better outcomes, albeit the time-consuming process and anxiety that accompanies. And she said it affects her sleep. And she said her teachable moment through all of this
What is imposter syndrome? It refers to the internal experience of believing that you're not as competent as others perceive you to be. So while this definition is usually narrowly applied to intelligence and achievement, it has links to perfectionism and the social context. She said it was first documented in high achieving women in the 70s. And while it's more prevalent among women, it's really prevalent among women of color. And men are also sometimes susceptible to developing this mindset. So based off of that post, Krys, like, what are your thoughts on imposter syndrome, especially as it directly affects Black women?
So I absolutely agree with everything she said. That is factual. Imposter syndrome, which was coined by two women in the 70s, it is directly tied to patriarchy. And directly tied to our history of enslavement. We have to go way back beyond just corporate structures. We have to go back to when women were on the low end of the totem pole, right? I mean, even today, we still are. We're still fighting for equity and equality, right? Just as women. But when you take it way back, we were underneath the Black men. The Black men were underneath the white men, right? The white women were underneath the white man. And so we are literally fighting to try to find our place. And so because of that, there's trauma attached to that. And so when you do finally get to a place where you do get the job, you do get in a place where you can show your gifts and your skills, but then you get there and you still have this extreme battle with self-doubt, which is imposter syndrome. You have this extreme battle with self-doubt and you're fighting to prove what you should already believe about yourself, right? Because back in the day, when women were subservient to everybody, especially Black women, we were having to prove ourselves over and over again. And even when we were worthy of it, even when we knew we were good, and you have people who are saying, yeah, but you're not good enough. Or, yeah, you're good, but you need to stay in your place. And pushing all of that down, you eventually get to a place to where even though you know you're good, people are telling you you're good externally, the people around you, you start to believe that can't be true. That can't be true. You doubt everything about yourself. And so I know that a lot of people try to attach it to, well, you just need to believe in yourself more. But the reality is we have to detach imposter syndrome from the trauma that it's attached to. This isn't just about someone individually not believing in themselves. This is about history of trauma that has been put on top of trauma, and people not protecting the Black woman.
Yeah.
Now, we can say people not protecting women, period. But the reality is, when it all comes down to it, we're still going to get the last straw. And usually that straw going to be too short for us to even drink from.
Wow.
Right?
Real.
And so imposter syndrome goes really, really deep. And it's attached to a lot of trauma that we have compounded on top of one another. And I also like to say that you see this a lot. It comes out from Black women who have struggled in relationships with their mothers. Why? Because their mothers have possibly struggled with imposter syndrome and did not know it because they didn't know the professional term for it, but they struggled because of generational stuff that was passed down from their mothers and their grandmothers, who actually probably witnessed or experienced some type of enslavement or experienced some type of abuse in the corporate system or in their job, where they were made to feel like they weren't good enough, even though they knew they were qualified, until you get to the point to where you say, well, you know what? I must not be qualified enough. And then you start believing that about yourself. And then you feel like, you know what? I'm tired of proving myself. I'm just going to settle with what I got. But then when you see your daughter come along and she strives beyond that, now there's this tension. Because it's like, you know what? She's going after everything that she's going after. She needs to humble herself. And it's not really that. It's just that you didn't believe enough in yourself to push past what trauma has tried to label you as.
Girl, that is so crazy.
I told y'all, we can talk about this all night, y'all.
I watched, they redid the Wonder Years with an all-Black cast. And so the most recent episode we finally were introduced to, because the mom is always on her daughter. always on her daughter. And so this episode, we were introduced to her mom.
Mhm.
And so it was like the same thing. And so the granddaughter was able to see like, that's where she get it from. But the thing was, the mom finally said that basically the reason why she was so hard on her daughter is because she wanted her daughter to have what she couldn't have. But then once she saw her getting it, she kind of was a little resentful because why can't you have it and I couldn't, you know?
Right.
And so I thought that was like so big for her to be able to say that, to finally get past that. But ooh, that was good.
That
That was good.
Yeah, that was definitely good.
Ooh.
Like, yeah, you got to sit and chew on that.
Yeah.
But because you don't realize how much you see, you know, now that you get more, you know, in depth in the conversation, you don't realize how much you see it in front of you, whether it's with you or whether it's with somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. And I think we see it a lot trending on social media. I know that hashtag imposter syndrome, you see it trending a lot on social media, but that's because what now has been in corporate structures and in offices where women have been trying to break glass ceilings is now bleeding into social spaces, because imposter syndrome, yes, it is you trying to believe what other people say about you and believe that for yourself. But it goes to the point of, okay, I'm doubting myself. I want to believe this, but now I have social media in play, right? Where now I have people encouraging me and saying, I am this person, I am this, ooh, girl, you go, girl, on social media. But I'm still struggling with this off social media. That's why you need to be healthy trying to maintain a platform, because when you are dealing with imposter syndrome already and you come into a social space like social media and you have people constantly encouraging you, if you are still battling in your mind whether you are good enough and whether your gifts are adequate enough, then what will happen is those people will feed a part of you that is unhealthy to where you're either going to let it crush you or you're going to let it push you into perfectionism, which is abuse to yourself.
Wow.
Perfectionism is abuse to yourself, because if you believe God is who he says he is and you believe his word, then you know that none of us can ever reach the level of perfection that imposter syndrome will push you to. And so what you do to yourself is you abuse yourself by either trying to do too much when God is not calling you into all of that, or you don't do enough. And so either way it goes, you're disobedient because you're not where God needs you to be. And so imposter syndrome is really big. And a lot of times, you know, we think of it as just, you know, self-doubt, but it's an extreme battle with self-doubt that often leads us right out of the will of God and right into the world's way of doing things, which means we're going to crash and burn, because now we're trying to do stuff just to make ourselves feel a certain type of way, when it doesn't matter, because when you strip all of that stuff away, you still going to be left with your mental instability. You're still going to be left with not believing in yourself. People can tell you all day long, oh, you're so good. Oh, you're meant to do this. Oh, you should be doing this. But if you struggle with that because of past trauma or because you have some issues with self-worth, then at the end of the day, you may try it, but as soon as something goes wrong, you're going to quit on yourself. So that's why you have to get to a healthy level of believing in yourself, and not just believing in yourself, believing in who God says about you. Like when you believe what God says about you, there's a healthy level of confidence that it's going to start rubbing some people the wrong way who try to push you down and minimize you and try to make you feel like, you don't believe in yourself because you know you ain't all of that. But the reality is you are all of that. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. That means you are all of that. You were created very good, which means you should believe that about yourself. And I'm speaking from personal experience, because you're talking about a woman who is a pastor, when some people still don't believe women should be pastors, especially ones that look like me.
Ministers, let alone pastors.
Like a pastor. She don't talk like a pastor. She don't carry herself online like a pastor. Well, what does that look like? Or are you talking to me based on what was defined by another man?
Right. That part.
You know, and that's how people allow imposter syndrome to take over. Because if I would have come into this role back with the mindset I had back then, battling with imposter syndrome, I would have let them run me right on out of the church, right on out of ministry.
Right.
And I would have went on. But guess what? God's will for me and God's call on my life is more significant than what somebody thinks I should or should not do. What matters to me is what I believe about what I should be doing, and if God co-signs that.
Yeah.
Right?
Hard. So like this, so I think for me, like with my particular struggle with imposter syndrome, it's kind of going back to what you were saying about knowing who you are in Christ. You know, my platform, the whole unapologetically dope. How do you strike a balance between being confident in who God has called you to be and being okay with people perceiving you as cocky or arrogant, knowing that that's not you, but still holding on to your identity, but humble enough to know that your identity is not in yourself? Like what wisdom or insight can you give to someone that's struggling with knowing their identity, being okay with that, but not trying to come off as cocky or arrogant?
Yeah. So I love that question. That's a really great question. So first, I would say you need to go back and redefine your relationship with God. Like, really know who you are in Christ. Like, meaning know what your purpose is, know what you're on this earth for, what you're supposed to be doing. And when you understand that, then you can try to understand how to navigate that, right? And so you don't put other people's standards on that, but you put the standard that God has called you to. So for instance, me, when it comes to being in ministry and then also being a social media influencer, that's it's a weird balance, because some people don't think that social media and church should be aligned with each other, right? And so what I had to do is I had to first remember, okay, if I'm doing things according to what Bible says, and I'm walking in that, and I know that I am, and I'm resting in that, and I'm confident that God loves me and what I'm doing, then I really can't worry about how other people perceive that, because there's always going to be one person, right? It may be 10, but there's going to be one who's going to challenge that and is going to look at that. And so what I've had to do is just find comfort in knowing that God loves me, that God's got my back, and that at the end of the day, if I know that I can sleep at night with what I'm doing and rest in it, and do it knowing that it aligns with who God is and who God is calling me to be, then I got to let some of that other stuff go, because I can't carry it around. When you start allowing other people's perceptions of you and other people's ideas of who you should be, you carry that stuff around, you're carrying unnecessary burdens. And God said, you need to hand that stuff over. You cast all your cares onto me. And I do that. Because what somebody believes about me is not my responsibility to take care of. I can't help what you believe about me. All I can do is give you the best of me with grace. And outside of that, I can't help what you think of me. Because the reality is, y'all, you can be the greatest person ever, and somebody is still going to be bothered by that.
Oh, that's something I had to learn, baby.
For real.
That was a real lesson I had to learn. I did. I struggled with that. This morning, so I listen to Erica Campbell. Me and Courtney, we listen to Erica Campbell every morning on the way, take her to school. And so this was what they were talking about. Again, like, I feel like I've just been hearing it everywhere, but they were talking about, like, what do you think is the definition of a strong Black woman? But pretty much everybody kind of fell back to imposter syndrome. But one lady said, once I allow God to really be everything that I need him to be in my life and actually lean and depend on him, it helps me to understand that I can do all things if I allow God to be all things.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, wow. That was good. And like that's been playing in my head all day. Like, I can do all things, but I gotta allow God to be all things. So I was like, that's real. That's real. You got a question this time?
I'm just taking
So twofold. What are the signs to look for?
That's good.
And
So,
then once you are,
I'm sorry.
Oh, you good. Once you're able to identify that is happening, how can you overcome it?
So signs, this is really good because some of us have friends. And let me be clear, I've spoken a lot about how women, particularly Black women, suffer from imposter syndrome, but the reality is men do too. But it often comes off as pride. So I want to first say one of the ways that you recognize imposter syndrome is when you see people who are full of pride in defense of stuff. And so, like, for instance, when you give them criticism or you're complimenting something that they're doing, and it's kind of like a Sour Patch Kid, like you're complimenting something that they're doing, and then you follow it up with, next time maybe this could be different, and immediately there's a falling out, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just criticized. They missed the whole positive part of it. All they got was the negative stuff that you said, which really it wasn't negative, it was just helpful information. Pride usually attacks that because what you probably didn't know is that they're dealing with imposter syndrome, right? Where going into that situation, they already didn't believe the good part about themselves. And so as soon as the negative part that they perceive is negative is brought up, pride comes into play and you can't tell them nothing. So that's one sign. Another sign is when you hear people say stuff like, I don't understand why I'm here. Like, they gave me this promotion, they gave me this position. I don't know why they picked me. When people are congratulating you, girl, you deserve that. I don't know how I got this. They're probably suffering from imposter syndrome where they genuinely internally have not recognized that they are worthy of what they've been given, right? So for instance, I spent years saying I would never be a pastor. I don't even see how, I don't fit the mold. Like, I was told when I was 16, 17, when I got pregnant as a teen, you don't have a place in the church. I was told you threw your life away. Like, I was told a lot of things that attacked my worth, right? And so externally hearing those things, I kind of held on to them internally. And so as I grew up, I immediately started discounting myself in the spaces that they said that I don't belong in. And so even though God was giving me the qualifications for it, because I had internalized all of that negative stuff, I started having social anxiety about the very things that God was calling me to, because I believed, girl, you really don't fit there. And it wasn't until I had a mental breakthrough, because guess what? Therapy is necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Counseling is a necessity. I'm telling you. It wasn't until I got the breakthrough that I needed and the mentoring that I needed to believe that you belong where God calls you. All of my t-shirts that have statements on them have come from me overcoming something. That's why I have a tee that says humbly confident. You don't display weakness. It's a confidence from God. It's not about being arrogant. It's about fully believing who you were created to be and what you were created to do. I have a shirt that says qualified, because I finally got to a place where I said, you know what? I am qualified to speak on behalf of God. It don't just take a man to speak. A whole woman carried the word. Why can't I carry the word too?
Right. Wow.
Right. And so it started me developing a new relationship, a refreshed relationship with God, not based on tradition, not based on what I was taught growing up in Vacation Bible School, but in a relationship authentically developed between me and God in our private time, where God said, you are enough.
Yeah.
And you can do this. And I've called you to this. And who has authority over me?
That part.
And that's the part that I heard in my prayer time. Who has the authority over me? And when I sat with that, I said, you're right, God. And that's where the confidence came from for me to say, you know what? I can be a pastor. I can lead. I'm already doing it. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was already pastoring people online by leading them to Christ, because ultimately that's what pastors are supposed to be doing. Shepherding people to Christ.
Right.
Not about a pulpit, not about a suit and a tie, not about, how many people are in your congregation, but are you leading people to Christ?
Right.
Right. And so that's the revelation that God gave me. And I said, you know what? I'm qualified to do that. I can do that. And so then when the time came, I fully embraced it and accepted it because I believe that about myself. And so I just want to encourage people to believe that about themselves. Or if you hear your sister friends, you hear your brothers, you hear people making comments like, you know, I don't know why I'm here, or, you know, I don't know why they say I'm this and that, because I don't, then check that, you know, say, do you believe that about yourself?
Mhm.
Because it's sometimes we're struggling in silence. People who suffer from imposter syndrome usually suffer in silence because there's a level of embarrassment or shame attached to it.
Mhm.
And so you're thinking, well, if I don't believe this about myself, they have to see it. They don't believe it either. And so you're suffering in silence. But there's going to be somebody that God is going to send around you who can encourage you and edify you and pour into you and help you. That's why you need to seek out counseling. That's why you need to seek out mentors. I have a group coaching program right now because I want to be able to pour into people who are struggling with trying to build that business or trying to just be better personally. You know what I'm saying? I want you to come out of that shell. Because I'm telling you, imposter syndrome will take you down and it'll have you in a depressed state, because it's not in the DSM. I don't know if y'all know what the DSM is. The DSM-5, it's a diagnostic and statistical manual for mental disorders. But imposter syndrome should be in there.
It should.
It should, because it leads to depression. It leads to bad cases of anxiety. It leads to, some people are dealing with imposter syndrome and they diagnosing it as bipolar. Right? Because people up and down, they believe this about, next thing you know, it's up and down. Now some people do chemically have bipolar, right? They are not bipolar, but they have bipolar, right? Now, but there are some people who have been misdiagnosed who just literally have imposter syndrome and have a bad case of it, and they can't find the balance because the world is saying one thing and then their mind is saying another. That's why I gotta stay tied to the word of God. That's why I have to stay tied to God's counsel.
Yeah. Listen. It's the suffering silence for me.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my biggest things.
Is this as good to y'all as it is to us? Because
this is one of them episodes you have to pause in between.
Right.
Like, hold on, let me chew on that for a minute.
Well, y'all know I've been emotional wreck for the past month. I try not to cry. I'm like, but this is
it's real though.
Yeah,
it's real.
It is real. It is real. It's so real. I just want us to be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear some, you know, women on social media, more so I see them on social media. And you can say, you know, congratulations, or, you know, you look great, or give them a compliment. And the first thing that they do is try to dismiss that comment or, you know, minimize the compliment or something like that. And for me, that's a sign of imposter syndrome, because if I'm telling you, you look good, or if I'm telling you, oh, you did a great job on that video, or, you know, great speech, and then the first thing that your mind says to do is, I wasn't all of that. That's imposter syndrome. You're so used to doing it that you probably don't realize it. But when you cannot accept a congratulations and receive that and say thank you without having to try to over explain it or dismiss it, you may need to question whether or not you're dealing with imposter syndrome. Because it's okay to say thank you. It's okay to say, oh, girl, I appreciate you, and keep it there.
Where do I send my explanation of benefits? I have a official diagnosis tonight. I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, baby, right there, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not somebody in my inner circle. Somebody can give me a compliment, I'll be like,
And even sometimes I'll say thank you out loud, but in my mind, that's what I'm doing. Like, you know, I say thank you just to.
Yeah, no, I don't.
But you know, when I started my therapy journey early part of last year, that was one of the assignments that she gave me, because I'm not good at accepting compliments so like for what was it, like 7 days? I had to like literally. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, was it 14 days? Yeah. I had to literally take compliments and not
give a rebuttal back pretty much. And it was very much hard. Like I like to stay in the background. I like to, but that's something I struggle with.
You can't see the comments from there?
Oh. She'll probably have to scroll up right
now. Okay, well I'll read some of the comments.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me go back up. Desiree said we deep. And we are. We are.
We told y'all it was gonna
be good. The great news about it though, that's why we was like, this is Krys all day long. Like, because it's the truth, but it's still real enough and so where she ain't got you in here.
I felt that too right there.
No, we're not doing that.
I cry on camera.
We gonna make sure we have our laughs and stuff. But we taking it all in. This is definitely gonna be one of the episodes where we all gonna go back and listen to it.
My nose
down. Abigail said we call it code switching, but in certain circles, we can feel like we have to switch it up to fit in or be accepted. But it all equates to I by myself am not good enough. From our natural hair to our speech to the clothes we wear, confusion can cause mental illness. Listen, they gave me my diagnosis. I need them to switch that from generalized anxiety disorder to imposter syndrome. Now the question
how do you think those tie together?
Well, the question is the insurance still gonna pay for it? That's all I'm trying to say. Is the insurance gonna pay for it?
Because you got the wording just right for the insurance.
Listen, it needs to be in the book, y'all. I think it was Nell said, how do they tie in together? Anxiety and imposter syndrome. So we got to understand anxiety is extreme worry, right? So you have imposter syndrome, which is extreme self-doubt. And then you have anxiety, which is extreme worry, because usually people who struggle with anxiety are overly anxious about the things that they can't control or don't know, right? And so you have extreme anxiety and extreme self-doubt, and they're crashing together because usually you have extreme worry about what people are thinking about you. Self-doubt, right? Because the things that people say about you, you already believe about yourself, and that's just exacerbating your anxiety. So you have comorbidities, right? I'm gonna put that in the chat. It's when you have multiple things going on to where you're trying to find that balance of how do I get above this, right? Yeah. But if you are suffering from anxiety because of your need to control what's going to happen tomorrow and your worry about what happened yesterday, and then on top of that, you have extreme self-doubt about what you're feeling day to day, you got too much going on and there's no room for God to work in that.
So is there why some days, and I'm speaking for me, is there why some days I literally feel like, have you ever felt like, I'll never forget the other day I just started crying. I was like, I don't even know what I'm crying for. And but when I sat down and thought about it, I was just like, you really have a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I do worry. I do try to make sure that things are getting done. Things, whether it's in my control or whether I feel like not in my control, but you still try to make it in your control. But then it's still that inner child, I guess you can say, like, am I making whoever is watching me proud? Or, it's just,
your body will let you know. Your body, if you really stay, that's why self-care is important, because if you really stay in tune with your body on a day-to-day basis, and get your week started off with being in tune with your body will tell you when you're overwhelmed, when you are doing too much, when you need to rest. Like it will tell you, and you have to be okay. I literally just did a speaking engagement about this. You really, really need to know where your mind is and what your body is saying, so that you do not end up carrying burdens that God has told you to put down. Right. And one of those burdens that sometimes we refuse to put down is imposter syndrome. And that leads to the anxiety. A lot of times we're walking around with anxiety that it's on us. We can try to say it's on our struggles. We can try to say it's on the world. We can try to say it's on our co-workers and on our bosses. But the reality is, if God has called us to a place to where we can release it and we refuse to do that and we hold on to it, that's on us.
Yeah.
And we have to learn how to take responsibility for that. And that goes back to Abigail's comment, where she said that we think it's code switching. Let me see. Let me go back to it because I don't want to misquote her. She said we call it code switching. So code switching, if you guys don't know, code switching is when you go into certain spaces around certain people and you feel like you have to change your voice. You got to add that influx. You know, back in the day, they used to call it talking white. Yeah. Right? And I hate that because the reality is, what do you mean talking white? So is talking white meaning talking perfect?
Right.
Right. And so, but a lot of us as Black people have a tendency to go and go into spaces and change our voice and start talking like this because we feel like we need to sound a certain way, right? I used to struggle with that. And I got to a place to where I started doing this self-evolution thing with God. And I was like, what's wrong with the voice you gave me? I used to hate listening to myself, right? That's why it took me a long time to even do a podcast, because I hated listening to my playback. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I sound so country, and oh Lord, I hate my voice. And God was like, you hate the voice I gave you? Wow. That's an attack on who I am, because the word says I created you very good. So that means the parts that you don't like about yourself, you may not like them, but that doesn't mean that they're bad. And so I had to start believing that for myself. And so once I started believing that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be country. I'm going to be, you know, whatever they want to call it, but it's going to be what it's going to be. Yeah. I still struggle though. It's a daily battle. When I have to do speaking engagements, when I have to go before people, there is that battle. And you know what I have to do? I have to pray and I have to lay it before God. Because the reality is I'm human and I'm never going to reach perfection. And so there's always going to be that imperfection in me that says, do I sound good enough? Am I being articulate enough? Do I sound like I'm smart, right? Do I really sound like I know what I'm talking about? Those thoughts do cross my mind because I'm not perfect. But the reality is that confidence that I have that God's got me and that God is going to give me the precision of speech and that God is going to give me the wisdom that I need because I've asked him for it. Those things will eventually override when you release all of that stuff that you're trying to carry. So you don't have to enter into it. That's why I have locks. One of the reasons why I have locks is not just because I was sick of doing my hair. I loved my natural hair. But one of the reasons that I got locks is it was kind of like a fist to the system, right? Because for so long we were told we can't show up like this. We can't show up looking this sort of way. Our hair needs to be straight. Right? As if straight is professional. Who said straight was professional? I need to meet the person who said what the standard of professionalism is. Because that ain't my standard. If God didn't say in the Bible that, Krystle, your hair need to be straight when you go on a job, my hair not going to be straight if I don't want it to be straight. Right. Right? And so I got locks as a way of saying, I'm not going to bend to your standard just because you decided that was the standard. Now, I will say, when it comes to following rules and stuff like that, you know, out of obedience, I do strive to follow rules, but I also am not afraid to buck some.
I have been on the buck.
Nuck if you buck.
Please.
Nuck if you buck.
So I was gonna ask Marion's question.
Well, yeah, but I want to add something to that. So Marion's question was, how can we support one another with this? But I want to add.
Hey, Marion, that's one of the church. Hey, girl.
I want to add to it to ask, how can we support one another? But also, how can we address it in our younger girls? To help them from growing up with that and thinking it's the norm. And the reason I say that is because we went to Starbucks today, and when Courtney got out the car, she was going in to get our mobile order, and she was like, I'm just gonna say it like you. Mobile order for Keitra. And I was like, I do that.
You do.
I do. So I don't. Now hearing this, and I'm like, I don't want her to think like,
Right.
and I gotta stop doing that. So how can we support one another, and then how can we help our younger girls?
Okay, so I got a threefold list.
Okay,
because I have a son, and even though
Yeah,
because he's 5, and y'all literally yesterday I picked him up and he was crying, and I was like, "What are you crying for?" Because he wanted to lose a certain amount of points, but he still had a great day, moved to the next level, everything. But when I say my baby was continually crying because he was like, he kept saying, I got to make sure I'm good enough for you. Now, where my baby know all this stuff from, I don't know if children can pick up off energy because I have self-doubt, but to me, I feel like at 5 years old, he's too hard on himself and thinking that he has to please me, like he's gonna be perfect every day, and I don't want my son to feel like that.
Yeah, man, these are some great questions. Listen, so I'm gonna make it real easy for y'all. The way that we help our young men and our young ladies is to help ourselves first. Meaning, we got to start in our sister circles. We got to start in our family circles. We got to start in our church circles, especially our church circles, because church women can be some of the meanest, nastiest people. Other people, right? Instead of us supporting and embracing each other, we shun them. We look at them up and down. Why? Because we're probably suffering from imposter syndrome ourselves, but we were taught in church that, now we just gonna pass it off as they doing too much. Right. And so my doing too much bothers you when in reality, you should be coming to me and saying, I am so proud of the way you do life. Help me. Because I grew up believing that I couldn't do this. Help me to do this. But no, instead, we make our other women around us feel like we should minimize ourselves and shrink. And I refuse to shrink. I serve a big God who has gave me a big call, and I refuse to shrink because someone else won't heal.
Hey,
say that again.
But that's even with family too.
Say that again.
I refuse to shrink because someone else won't heal.
My God.
Yeah. I need to write that down. I refuse to. Let me go to my notepad.
I ain't even the one talking, but I got to get some water on this.
Listen, I'm just trying to free somebody tonight because it's somebody who grew up struggling with this, right? And it's somebody who, if you're listening here tonight and you have left the church because you have experienced religious trauma, I want to validate you right now. And I want to let you know to come back. Come back. Because guess what? There is a place for you, right? And not all church girls are mean girls. And whatever it is that you experience, I apologize on behalf of the body. Because guess what? As a pastor, but just as a woman in the church, I am part of the church because the church is not a building, it's a community. Right. And so I'm a part of that community. I'm a part of the body. And if a part of the body has hurt you, I apologize because you didn't deserve that. And I have been there before and I have had to overcome that. I've had to do the work to overcome that. And I want you to know that there is a place for you. And just know that the person who hurt you, the person who looked at you a kind of way, the person who made you question your worth when you walked into the church with a certain outfit on or a certain lipstick on, if you were made to feel any kind of way, come back. Because I promise you, God loves you and God validates you. And God does not care that you came in 6-inch heels. God does not care that you came in the outfit that you came in if you were trying to come to him. So I'm just asking that you just come back. Because I promise you, there is a place for you. There is a place for you. Okay. Because we have to stop that. So back again to address the question, how we help our young girls and help our young guys, we have to help each other first. As women, we have to start telling women when they have lipstick on their teeth. And that sounds real simple and shallow, but that's where stuff like that is where it starts. When you're talking to a woman and you see she got lipstick on her teeth, but there's a part of you that refuses to let her know she got lipstick on her teeth.
Everybody do this in a minute.
Everybody need a Keisha, because I'm gonna say if don't nobody else get us together, when we go somewhere, baby, and Mother Goose over here is with us, she not gonna let us go out looking any kind of way. What I do? No.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, my husband is in the background talking about talk your stuff. He ain't say stuff though, but
They said that's another shirt design, Krys.
what's another shirt? Y'all know I love shirts. Well,
I
hold on.
refuse to drink because someone else won't heal.
Oh,
I need that.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one.
listen, I have a mental health line that's coming. So,
Okay. Ready for it.
but y'all, listen, women, we gotta start helping one another for real. Like, I'm so serious on that, because we say we all about this women empowerment and we want to lift each other up, but when it comes down to it, we allow our comparison of one another. We try to measure ourselves up to somebody else. And then that goes back to the imposter syndrome, because there's parts of ourselves that we don't believe about ourselves. And so then we start trying to project that onto other people. And we got to stop doing that, because our young girls are watching.
Yeah.
That's how we help them. That's how we help our young men. Because when our young men see see their dads or their grandpas struggling with really carrying themselves to the fullest potential that God has given them, then they start shrinking back.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and even if they're in a single parent home, like my son, for most of his young life, before I met my husband, he was raised by a single mother, right? And so I had to transition into remembering that my son is going to be somebody's husband one day. He's going to be, somebody's father one day. And so I had to start talking to him and reminding him, you are a young man and you deserve to carry yourself with your head held high. Don't let the world ever make you feel like you need to shrink. Right? And even now he's going through something that's really, really challenging for him. And he's starting to experience what this world is about when it comes to white versus black. Right. And it's really a struggle, because he's so used to just the world being good.
Yeah.
So when you experience that the world is not so good, it's hard, and it's an attack on your character. It's an attack on what you believe about yourself. And so I'm trying to encourage him, don't shrink into that. Just because other people hurt you because they were hurt, don't shrink into that. You stand tall, you stand strong. And so that's how we encourage these young people to do that, is when they see that we're standing in our truth, and that we're doing it with grace, and we're doing it with love, and that we can do it in support of other people.
And we always say that these kids, they a different breed, which I know, like, our parents and grandparents said the same thing about us. But I am thankful, because mine, she keep me on point all the time.
She keep everybody on point.
Right.
Like, we passed by, we saw the lottery sign the other day, how they have how much the Powerball is worth or whatever. So we was just talking about, like, if you won, what would you do with the money or whatever? And so she said hers, Jay said his, and then I said mine. And she was like, but I didn't hear you say nothing about, like, what you really want to do. And I was like, I didn't. I didn't. But, like, it just makes me so much more, I guess, conscious of what I'm doing and what I'm saying, because I know she is watching, and I don't want to push that off on her. My struggles, I don't want to push that off on her and make her think that that's the norm, So this is helping me tonight. I ain't know this was gonna really hit me like it hit me, but this was good tonight, like, for real.
My daddy didn't even comment. He didn't send me a text message, said he's just listening. He's soaking it all in. It's so rich. And I'm like, sir, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. So it's I definitely can see this being a part two, sir.
Yeah.
Because like y'all getting it good, because y'all in there and y'all just in the comments and y'all can take notes, but I'm really sitting over here like, I'm gonna go back and watch this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. With my notebook.
Right.
This gonna have to get watched with my prayer journal.
Yeah.
Because it's like, now that we're actually learning what the meaning is, you know what I'm saying?
You recognize certain things.
Yeah, you just be like, wow.
Because I must admit, I mean, prior to us starting to talk about it, I've heard imposter syndrome, but never really thought about what it was, and really thought I didn't have it, or I ain't got to worry about that. But I do. I really do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'll never forget when I got pregnant, even though, most people's like, you was grown, but you know how you still in the back of your mind, because I wasn't married. I felt like I let everyone down, and I mean, I will say, shout out to my pastor. He did take up for me, because a couple people did try to, say what they said, but I didn't hear about it until after the fact, because I'm a little crazy. But still during that process, when I found out, I promised, I told my mom on church ground. Even though I knew I was grown, I just felt like she was gonna cuss me out. My mom ain't like that, but I just didn't know, because I felt like I had let everyone down, and everyone looked at me to be this certain person, and I'm like trying not to be there with my son. Like, I just want you to go do the best you can. Mama gonna do the best she can for you. But
I experienced the same thing, even though I was grown when I got pregnant. But I guess the stature that I had in church, the younger girls looked up to me and stuff.
Right.
But I'm like, my mama was right there, like, I wish you would. She was like, I'm gonna say what I got to say to you.
Right.
She expressed her disappointment, but can't nobody else do that. Even like, our pastor was real old school traditional, made me get up and apologize in church, And at the time, I did feel convicted, but my granny was like, I wish I had known you was gonna do that.
Right. I wish I had known.
Because she was like, no, that's not what we doing. Yeah. That's not what we doing. And she was like, who told you to do that? And I told her, she was like, I wish you had said something to me, because I would have told them they could have kicked Ryan.
I would say mine's, he did not. Well, I told him I wasn't going to do it, but he did not. He did not make me do it either. He did not press the issue. In fact, he was just like, I want you to continue working with you, because at the end of the day, these kids love you. They need to see you. And so I worked, so baby, I couldn't work no more.
Listen, until folks start coming forth to the front of the church to apologize for their excessive drinking, for their excessive cussing, for their excessive lying, for their excessive backbiting, gossiping, abuse, all of these things that we can't see, you will not find me at the front of nobody's church apologizing for being pregnant.
Right.
Now today, no.
Now today,
I would do it. But back then,
I was scared, because I knew a lot of parents, like we said earlier, some people are just mean in the church. A lot of people looked for stuff to nitpick about. So I knew that would be one of the things that they could.
But at the time, I was still dealing with my own disappointment.
Right.
So it was easy for them to come in and be like, I'm so disappointed in you, and this is what you have to do in order for you to still be favorable in my eyes. You know what I mean?
I think I dealt with that disappointment up until even after he was born. Like, a lot of people didn't know it, and it just kind of led into postpartum depression, and it just kind of trickled on down.
That's just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So you ain't getting in front of that church.
I was like, if somebody had told me to go, it is what it is. I'm pregnant. I think for me, of course, those that don't know, I suffered a miscarriage in 2007. I didn't go through that when I got pregnant. Now, on the other hand, when I dropped out of college, that's when I was like, and I think I was 30 when I finally came to the realization. Like, my great Uncle June, he would always keep asking me, when you get back in school? When you get back in school? And I finally just said, Uncle June, I'm not going back to school. Right. It just is what it is. Right. If the Lord, if he paid the invoice, then okay. But right. But I'm not getting no financial aid. So you gonna pay for me to go to school? Right. No, I've been blessed enough to climb the corporate ladder. It is what it is. But from 23 to 30, that was 7 years to try to figure out how I'm going to officially tell folks I'm not going back to school. So stop looking for me to re-enroll, because it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But tonight was tonight. What Kelly said? Kelly said her sister and several of her older cousins had to go do that, like go stand before the church, and it traumatized her, and she wasn't even the one pregnant. Yeah.
Man, that's sad.
I used to just look like, why they keep making them do that? What's the point?
Yeah, because it was like a repentance
Public,
before the people.
A
Yeah,
public,
like to show people that you were sorry and repenting, for what your decisions were. But the reality is, no, that's not the way you repent.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're being shamed is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like that's stupid. Like who does that?
Right.
Like why?
Because it ain't none of my business that you pregnant.
And
I
it
see you when
goes
you
to
come
like
out.
what Krystle said, if you're gonna do that, then why these folks that sleep with other folks' husbands and wives and drinking and cussing and having baby? Why y'all ain't in front of the
Because
church?
it's easier for us to call out sins that we can see.
Yeah.
True. Right.
It's easier. That's why so many people spend so much time talking about homosexuality and stuff that we can physically see that bothers the church. But when the internal stuff, that's the stuff that we really need to be talking about, because you have people walking around with suicide ideation because they've been taught not to be confident in themselves and not to believe in what God is calling them to do. And then they get into a state of depression because they can't handle their lives. And then it's like nobody was there for them. I didn't know that they were going through anything. That's because you're too busy trying to look at the sins you can see.
Yeah.
How the saying go, that's why you still got to check on your strong people.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
On the outside, we may be strong, but on the inside, baby, we is dying.
Yeah.
So
That's it. That's why we got to start loving people better than we do. Yeah.
We do.
This was good.
It was. I definitely feel like this is a part tour.
Yeah.
Part
two. It's a part two.
But Krissy, if you can let the people.
Excuse me. What's her name?
She said I can call her Krissy. You better leave me alone.
If I can't call Daryl Daddy or Pops,
Krissy,
you can't call us.
can you please let the people know where they can connect with you in these social media streets?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, thank you, ladies, again. Listen, I love pressing the unmute button podcast. It's always a joy. So thank you guys. You can find me on social media platforms at When Krys Speaks, or you can find me on my website, whenkryspeaks.com. You can find my apparel at She Speaks Apparel on social media platforms, or shespeaksapparel.com. So those are the different avenues you can get with me. Listen, I would love it if you would support this brand. It is growing, and I would love if you would just join me and grow with me. Amen. I'm just trying to make some money so I can pour back into my communities.
Right. I love it. Pizza Up community, let us know. Of course, you've been chiming in all shows. Just let us know how you liked tonight's episode. If you think we should do a part 2, if Krissy would be willing to come back on and drop some more nuggets, because I really feel like,
she is. You know she gonna do it.
What? I just feel like people got to go home and marinate in this and ruminate.
We was talking about the Krissy part.
First of all, Krissy said I can call her Krissy, and at the end of the day,
Can you call Mr. Scoggins and ask him can we call him Pops?
text him
I
yourself.
ain't gonna ask.
Text him
You just
yourself.
gonna do it?
I sure am.
Anyway,
Y'all are hilarious.
I'm not listening to them. I'm not studying them at all. But
Keep it prayed. Keep it prayed.
okay, let me see what the people say in the comments. Tonight has just been okay. Yeah, they said they need a part tour.
Right.
Everybody said they need a part tour. Part tour. Okay. So we'll connect with Krissy, of course, afterwards and see where she can pencil us in her schedule. Petra, get over it.
I'm not.
God.
She gonna give it up all night. Let you know.
Jesus.
I'm not ever.
Ever.
She said family call her Krissy, and I'm considered family. Because
In
before,
lies.
in Krissy's eyes, because before North Little Rock, there was what, Krissy?
Mactown.
Thank you.
Me and you. Look, we was calling each other cousins when we was like 5.
Guess what? When our mamas was pregnant at the same time.
That's true. I'm gonna let y'all have that one. I'm gonna stay out of that one.
Mm-hmm. It's all right though.
Sitting you.
Oh, okay.
It's all right though.
Ooh, I love that idea of a live slumber party. Listen, the snow wouldn't let me be great tonight having you because I was supposed to be over there with them. So maybe that could be the part tour.
Yes, I'm here for it. All of it.
That would be perfect. So listen, we gonna make it happen, Captain.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
Oh, I can make us some pizza pajamas.
You
Ooh, yeah, girl, you better.
a whole embroidery machine and stuff.
But you got a P-Tub shirt coming, Krys.
Yeah.
Yay!
Listen, y'all. I told y'all at the beginning, we official. We got sponsors, so the merch is on the way.
It's on the way.
It's on the way.
The merch is on the way. I'm trying to get these comments, make sure I ain't missing nobody. Oh, Leslie said, Abigail, that would be so much fun. And wings. We got wings.
Y'all know we eat a lot of
I
chicken.
can't eat wings on camera. I can't do it. Ebony wants you to put her social media and stuff back there.
There's where you can find Krissy in the social media streets. You can also find her at She Speaks. What is it? She Speaks.
She Speaks Apparel.
Yep.
Yes.
She also has her online community for St. Mark. So if you are in search of a virtual church home, you're not really down with the whole in-person yet, you can definitely catch her in her online community. And
yes, the growth factor. Come join the growth factor. All you have to do is search the growth factor. Listen, we would welcome you with open arms. Listen,
the people is coming with
these ideas.
They ready. Oh, so that means y'all need to go ahead and make it shake because they ready for it.
The people is coming.
Girl, a whole retreat.
And real quick, can I just say shout out, kudos, congratulations to St. Mark.
Yeah.
Y'all doing this thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey,
online church,
that's what I was
the
gonna say,
tiny desk.
Yeah. Do you do like ministry conferences to help other ministries build their social media?
Oh yes, I've already so I started off this year with a speaking engagement for digital discipleship for a church in Virginia. It was amazing. I loved it. So if any ministry is needing help with the online platform, I would love to do it because the reality is we're not going back to regular or what people thought church was. Yeah. So I definitely am, excited about pouring into people regarding digital discipleship and how to create an online community so that we can reach more people. Because the goal is about getting people to Christ. And you can't do that when you're missing out on millions of people online who may be waiting to connect with your church.
Right.
I love it. Y'all, tonight has been fantabulous.
Thank you, Mama Dilsey. Mama.
Mama is joining on YouTube until I can figure out how to get back in her Facebook. Because I'm not creating another profile. I'm just not doing it.
Dope.
Thank you, Mama Dilsey.
Thank you, Mama
Abigail
Dilsey.
said, if y'all don't invite me, she gonna lose her religion.
Mama Dilsey. I'm stuck on this retreat though.
Yeah.
This retreat though.
Yeah.
Y'all know I've been messing up all night.
I'm
stuck on this retreat.
I'm excited. I think we should make it happen.
I think we should make it happen.
Oh, I love that. And y'all gonna have it branded so good because I love y'all's branding. Man, it's gonna be awesome. Listen, y'all need to hire this brand coach over here, J. Nicole.
Yeah.
Y'all need to go ahead and put her on your list if you're on here, if you need somebody to help you, because she got it.
That's it.
I'm just saying, if you ain't locked and loaded on them notifications on Monday, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Just know it's something about to drop on Monday. That's all I got to say. We're going to leave it at that.
I love it.
So, quick announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly. Don't forget about our sponsorships.
Yeah.
We do still have a couple of packages still left. We, of course, brought on our signature sponsor, which is Hangtime Home Media. Shout out, praise the Lord for them. But we also have our deluxe and premium. Oh gosh, I was about to say it. Premium packages. I was going to say premium prayer cloth, but what? YouTube channel to be coming up. Anyway,
okay.
Those are your options showing on the screen. Our official website has been populated. Is that what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Oh no, is
that the word you're trying to say?
Our website is up, y'all. Our website is up, so you can go to pressingtheunmutebutton.com and you can look at our sponsorship packages there. You can submit your requests to get in on the sponsorship package. You can also fill out our guest form. So all of that is on pressingtheunmutebutton.com. And if you need to get caught up on season 1, all of our season 1 episodes have been uploaded as well. So All of that is on the website, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Premium prayer cloth. That's what it was, Kelly. Yes, Jesus. You know.
You're going to have to fill me in.
You be watching Pastor Ernie, too, late in the midnight hour. But anyway.
Do he have the spring water, too?
Yeah.
Is that him?
I think so.
I'm gonna get some spring water. I think I'm gonna find
no spring water.
I think Kearney got spring.
I'm asking
spring
is
water.
at the same.
Kearney the one that be screaming, and
yeah.
Nah, the other one that got the spring water, he don't be screaming. He just when you come up, he just gonna touch on your forehead and you just gonna fall. Wake up, girl. Thank you, Nita Thomas. She said it's popping.
It's popping. So y'all make sure y'all go follow Krysy, and y'all make sure y'all stay connected. We are definitely gonna bring Pastor Krys McDonald.
We definitely need a part 2
back on
in person.
Stay tuned for the retreats, and somebody done planted the seed. We guess we need to start
retreating. Okay.
Somebody said you need to be sleeping at night.
Who?
Somebody
need to be sleep.
You. Instead of watching Kearney and pop off.
It's a pony and pop off for me.
So y'all, we'll let y'all. We gonna rearrange some stuff, and we'll let y'all know when our next episode coming on and everything.
Yes.
So just stay tuned on the page.
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you again, Miss Krys. It was so good.
Thank y'all so much. This was a joy. Thank y'all.
Thank you for coming. Y'all make sure y'all go back and watch this. If you weren't able to get notes live, go back and watch it and take some notes.
And all the comments will pop up.
Yeah. Just drop some. See, I don't even feel like I could call you Krysy anymore. Drop some good notes.
So before Peter pop off, that's his name. But before we leave, I just want to make this clear with Pastor Krys, because and Nell, I want you to co-sign, because you've heard it a couple of times. She be talking about you in the text messages we've been planning this, and she'll always say Krysy, and me, I don't know you as Krysy. I know you as Krystle, you know. And me and they'll be like, Krysy. And they'll be like, oh, Krystle. So how you expect us not to call her Krysy? And that's all
we hear.
The same way you call PKJ Pops and I can't. And the same way you call Daryl Daddy and I can't. It's easy.
We're going to see y'all later.
It's easy. Pastor, at the same time, can you please keep me prayed up for these two?
Right. I got you.
Keep me on my toes for real. What's my saying? I'm going to be telling, breathe in, breathe out. That's what I'm going to be telling y'all now.
I got you.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you again, Krysy.
Thank y'all.
Alrighty.
Calling all Central Arkansas residents. Looking for someone to mount a TV or set up your surround sound? Well, look no further than our friends at Hangtime Home Media. From surround sound installation and setup to flat screen TV mounting, wired or wireless networking, and even furniture assembly. You can trust them with your business because they offer affordable solutions while providing top-tier customer service. Contact them today for a quote and mention that you heard their ad on the Pizza Up podcast, of course, and they'll give you 10% off your invoice. Find them on Facebook or Instagram, or call them at 501-690-5705. What are you waiting for? Get to calling.
Pressing the unmute, pressing the unmute button, pressing the unmute button, pressing the unmute, pressing the unmute.